All right, and welcome back to Wildewitch RP's live play of our Burning Veil campaign. What is Wildewitch RP, you might ask? I'll tell you. Wildewitch RP is me, Faye, your game master and storyteller, and Lachlan, our writer and producer. We are a couple who love role-playing games and sharing stories with all of you so much that we quit our day jobs and created our own company so that way we could create high-quality TTRPG experiences full-time. We've been very fortunate along the way to meet many awesome, amazing players who have joined us on our adventure, including the players with us tonight. And you can join them in all the fun. To get started playing with us, just join our Discord and website community where you can sign up for games, meet us and all of our players, talk about your favorite characters and stories, and even roleplay on our forums. We've got plenty of games happening every day, Monday through Saturday, so that way you can play in our Mortal Guardians episodic campaign and fight back against the evil Coven of Zol and their dark masters from the void beyond the stars. We also offer high-quality custom quests, magic items, and our playthrough of D&D's Dragonlance campaign. So, take a moment during the game to join us and introduce yourselves. We can't wait to see you at the table. Now, speaking of the table, let's get started with tonight's game. And for this session, we're going to go through and learn a little bit about the characters as some exciting things have been going on in their lives. Changes, big and small. So why don't we begin with Bracken? Let's get an introduction for you.
Oh boy, you want to talk about changes big and small. Hey everybody, I'm Thresh. I play Bracken Amberglass. He is a Kender monk fighter. He used to be a fairy. He was recently involved in an accident in which it's no one's fault, but he exploded. And when he was brought back, he had a physiological change. He has been opening up more to his group lately, I think. He hasn't been, as single-minded as to I'm gonna get my thing done and that's that. He's been more willing to work with a group as of late. He's got a nice girl that he likes to hang out with, Terry. She's a lot of fun. And he always gets hot and bothered and embarrassed when he talks to her, but he tries his best. And at the end of the day, I think that's all that matters.
Amazing. Next up, let's learn a little bit about Avi.
Oh boy, okay. Avi is a half-elf. She's a College of Whispers bard and shadow magic sorcerer. Everything kind of started out cool for her. She's a simple girl from the big city trying to make it. But things have been going on. She's dealing with a little bit of a curse that's definitely not a problem for anybody but herself. Her appearance is starting to change a little bit. She has her skin has gotten a little fairer than it was. Her face is slightly more angular. Her hair is dulling. Not quite sure what's going on there. She's, navigating a new relationship. And all the feelings that go along with that.
Amazing. And then that brings us to Cecil.
Cecil was rescued by the group towards the end of the Skyfire crisis. He's a forest gnome cavalier. He currently rides atop a black panther named Shadow. He's fairly young in his years for an adult gnome, but stands at a towering 3'6". He's got ear-length sandy blonde hair, short red beard, fairly fair skin, typical of a forest gnome who lives deep in the woods. He's been experimenting with some different weapons, but he's since settled on a warhammer that he wields with 2 hands for now. He clearly has a martial background with the way he handles himself in combat, but he's extremely guarded about details of his past. He's spoken a bit about some mistakes that he's made that led to his banishment from his home. He does have a past friendship with Lorcan in our group that has been rekindled since joining his companions. He's not had the easiest time fitting in overall, but he's been welcomed regardless of his social shortcomings, no pun. He has started to develop a closer relationship, some closer relationships, and might even be nearing a time where he can confide some additional details about his past and the mistakes that he's made. He has seen more in his time with this group than really the rest of his life. He's come a long way from his secluded upbringing, then through an isolation period, and now he's building a new family and trying to make a difference in the world. Between the events of the Skyfire crisis and his recent time spent in the corpse mirror, he's realized a deep concern for his people, his city, and his family back home. The further away he gets in both time and physical distance, the greater that pull is becoming to return home and just make sure that things are stable and safe, regardless of the threat of violating his banishment and the punishment of death that it would bring. He's resigned that for now, the more threats he can eliminate out in the world, then the fewer threats will exist to threaten his city and loved ones.
Alright. Love it. And with a little bit of knowledge on our characters here, we can give a bit of a recap upon what has happened. There has been, of course, the Skyfire crisis. That was the first incident that brought many of you together. And it is through the rising undead threat and the instances of dealing with what came after, the politics of navigating your the being under the patronage of Delwyn Shrevengar and the bit of a political minefield that has been so far, as well as the mystery of the Salvation Key has unfolded. And while you have come now to an area where there is a moment, your next portion of this journey taking you far to the Vale d'Umbra city of Gloomnor, most likely. This is the time to handle your personal affairs. You had a moment, a breathing to settle in, figure out what you might wish to accomplish. And it was during that there was an accident. A large one. Where Bracken did temporarily lose his life, but was given a new one. The night after that was stressful. And it is early morning that we come in, not yet dawn. And I would like to touch in with Avi. Avi, what are you doing in this moment?
Avi didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I sat and I thought for a real long time. And about right now, I am packing a bag.
As you pack, are you trying to do so without alerting the rest of the house?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you roll for me a stealth check then?
Sure. Well, Dale.
As you are packing, there's moments where you stop, overcome with these emotions. It's the whole reason why you want to leave. Because you care. You finish packing your bag when there is a knock upon your door. And you see a familiar face. One that you were talking to earlier this evening about the same predicament. As you see Ansel looking at you with red-rimmed eyes. They're already a little glassy.
Are you alright?
Just seeing if there's any chance that I can stop you from leaving as well.
That's all I can.
Did we not say first thing in the morning we would go to the temple?
Yes, we did, but what if they can't fix it?
Then we'll find a way to fix it. We've already stopped a crisis.
No.
We'll find a way. We just... Too many people are lost, and I don't want to lose you too.
Can't be the reason people get hurt. The people I care about.
You're not the reason, Holly. Sure, you hold something that is horrible, but you are not the reason. It's that hag. It was her magic that did this. You're just a vessel. It's not your will. And as he says this, he takes a step into the room, just moved by the passion. You can see
I don't see another solution for myself than to be alone.
And what do you think that will do to Ron?
Don't. Please don't.
What do you think that will do to any of us, Avi? We all care about you. And if you run, how do we know that you're safe? How do we know that whatever this is, this horrible thing, hasn't done anything worse to you? It's scary, Avi, I know. But please, give us a chance. Don't run.
Okay.
He wipes at his eyes. If you can't rest, I'm going to make some tea in the kitchen. You're welcome. And then once everyone's up, we can head out to the church.
All right.
And Ansel nods and heads out of your room and down to the kitchen. As morning begins to come into its full light, Bracken, Cecil, what do your mornings look like?
I'm sure Bracken wakes up and he's holding Terry close, you know. It was a big scare for everybody. He's still getting used to stuff. and he hops out of bed, and he's used to having his wings like catch him to like soften the fall from getting out of a standard sized bed to the ground. And he stumbles a bit because he doesn't have them anymore. So he's, day one of learning a new system, really.
As the stumble of you getting out of the bed is a little bit new, a little bit more clumsy, it does startle Terraminder awake. She's had a fitful night of sleep with what has happened, but you see the relief as she sees you.
You doing all right?
Yeah, just had bad dreams. How are you doing?
I'm alive, so that's good. We'll be all right. We'll get through it.
And she nods at that. A little somber still, but relieved. The two of you head down to the kitchen for breakfast, following your own morning routines. Cecil.
Cecil would have also not slept. He used to be very comfortable with staying awake all night on watch. So he would have probably taken a few laps around the hallways, quietly as he could, just in case something else were to happen. When he would have started to hear people getting ready or waking up, he would have been downstairs trying to prepare for some food, and just trying to make it look like he was the first one up rather than having gone to sleep.
Easily done. As you all gather, yourselves and the other companions that reside within this house, Lorcan, Terraminder, now Relethalos, Carissa, the others. Well, Carissa doesn't reside here, but she's here often enough that it's basically like she resides here. She arrives early in the morning. You notice one face that is not amongst your group. Ozira is not present.
Anyone heard from Ozzy lately?
Not since last night.
Ansel puts down his cup. Ozira has decided to follow his own path.
No. Well, good for him.
It was a shocking evening.
Yes. Very shocking. We, as Ansel looks over to Avi, and Avi, you feel your hand where Ron has placed hers, gives a comforting squeeze. We are planning to head out to one of the temples within the city to try and see if there is a way to break Avi's curse.
I think that's a good priority.
That might be a smart move. Do we have a plan B? I know it's a pretty serious, situation.
Let us see what the temple can offer us. If they cannot break the curse, perhaps they have information that we can utilize.
I mean, just throwing this out there. What if we went and took care of the hag? I think, we could. We're getting pretty tough. We might be able to just sort this out all together.
Did we not already do that?
Oh, that one. That's right. Never mind. Huh.
Like I said,
You know
if
me, I'm not good with
anything, the temple can at least give us information. But I believe my calculations on conversations are correct that there is a very powerful curse breaker who is still in the city. Perhaps we can catch her before she heads out.
Then we should hurry.
So, it will be... who do you wish to accompany you all to the temple? It'll be Ansel for sure, and the three of you. But do you wish for anyone else to join?
I think I need Ron to come with us.
And let's bring Carissa. She's got nothing else to do.
Thank you. Unless anyone else wants to come.
Well, as much as we'd love to be with you guys for this, I think that a whole group of adventurers showing up at a temple, God, where's Lorcan's accent today? Well, I'd love to do that. I think that we'll be drawing a lot of attention to ourselves if a whole band of us come together. Perhaps maybe not the best idea to load up, especially if they can handle a situation right then and there.
Lorcan, if you didn't want to come, you could have just said so.
It's not that I don't want to come.
I'm teasing.
He's got dragons to catch.
Well, look, I got out of that dragon fight twice now. One with the live one with the dead one.
Sure. Whatever you say, Lorcan.
Okay. Get out of here, you. I don't even know what to call you now that you're not a fairy. I'll work up a pleasant enough insult.
Don't think too hard. You'll have smoke coming out of your ears.
Can we not talk about smoke coming out of people?
Ah, fair enough. Bad turn of phrase. My apologies.
Carissa kind of stretches. Well, let's get a walk, and we can hopefully get this all taken care of. And Terraminder gives a tight hug to you, Bracken. Please be safe.
Look, you know me. I'm a guy in numbers. What's the possibility that it happens twice in 2 days? I went all this way without it happening once. We'll be all right.
And she nods. So, you head out. And through the city of Wintervale, you find yourselves coming to the Temple of the Light. Go ahead, roll for me history or religion checks. Bracken, you've seen this building before, but that's about it.
Eh.
Cecil and Avi know that the Temple of the Light is a shared worship space. These are areas for followers of Rycentor, Solanthra, other deities of the good and just pursuits. And as you are entering in, it is quiet in the morning. Not many people are here, save for the acolytes that reside here.
Is there like a front desk?
Nope, just the open cathedral space.
Bracken will loudly just kind of clear his throat to get somebody's attention, and the first person he looks at wave down.
As you make a bit of a disturbance with clearing your throat, one of the acolytes, Young, comes to you and quietly addresses your group. Yes, how may I assist you?
We need some help with a curse.
Ansel speaks up. I was hoping that if Malakari was here, we may speak with her. You see the acolyte's eyes go wide as Ansel speaks the name, and if anyone would like to roll a history check to see if you recognize. Avi, you've not heard this name before. But, Bracken and Cecil you have. Malakari is a renowned specialist, primarily of abjuration magic. She has trained most acolytes and clerics in Wintervale. And if she hasn't trained them, she's trained the ones that have trained them. She hails from Western Sargaza, and she is a master of counter curses, healing magic, restorations. And she travels throughout the Western Shield and other areas of Velinara to share what she has learned. I will see if the Mistress Malakari is available. You see that this acolyte is much more skittish now having that name invoked, and looks over each of you very warily. But does head off.
What was his deal? He kind of got all shaky at the end there.
Well, I think we essentially just asked for the manager.
Mm.
She is a
Good
very
move.
powerful healer. And this is a very powerful curse. I thought it best to relay the gravity of the situation. Eventually, the acolyte does come back and ushers you further into the temple and out into one of the courtyards, where you see a priest in traveler's clothes, a pack leaning against one of the trees nearby a shallow pond. And she looks up to you. The acolyte nods respectfully before bowing away. Yes, I can see the curse. Please, come forward.
I'll step up.
As you step forward, Malakari, her hands kind of hover around you. As she doesn't quite look to you, but around you. That's way too much bird. Okay, that's less bird sounds. It's just sometimes the bird sounds gets way too much.
Too heavy, too much bird.
Too much bird. It looks as if she's looking at the aura around you, which might be the manifestation of the curse. This is troublesome. Powerful magics. And as she brings her fingers through the air, you can see some of that fine gray smoke. You have powerful people upset with you. Please, come sit with me around the water and tell me how this came to be.
You could say those people were upset. We took care of them, but sorry.
It is a bit of a story.
I have time. I was heading out, but this is important.
Started a while back. I agreed to a favor. To a woman who turned out to be a hag. The second time we met her, it was under different circumstances. And after a long fight, the favor that I had agreed to, she changed it.
As Malakari listens, place your hands in the water. All of you, please. And you watch as she does it as well.
We're not cursed. Do you still want us to do?
Do you
Okay.
care for your companion?
Yeah, I do. Okay. And Bracken will make his way up and put it in the water.
You can see my hands are shaking, but I'll put them in the water.
Carissa, Ron, and Ansel all put their hands in the water as well. Cecil, do you?
A little skeptical, but yeah, I'll go ahead.
As you each touch the water, Malakari begins to speak in the Sargason dialect. Her voice is deep, rhythmic, and as she chants, you see the story that you have just given in a green glow atop the water. But where the story ended in your retelling, Avi, this one continues. It shifts. The image showing a locale strange, unfamiliar. And there is shadows of this green energy that overcome, turning from the pale light of the memories into a sickness, almost black in color. And as it overcomes the water, breaking apart, comes the visual of a weak but recovering Antiphestion, the hag that cursed you, as she is performing rituals before the image cuts off and the water's clear. As Malakari brings her hands from the water and lets the drops ripple out, hag magic is strong, older than most. You will have to travel to Vale de Fera and defeat her on her own turf. That is how you will rid yourself of this curse. It has bound the two of you, likely due to the fact that this was once a promise that shifted and morphed.
Okay.
Well, I cannot break this curse for you. It sounds this curse is a troublesome burden. I may be able to craft suppressants for its afflictions, but you must be mindful. Keep to them until this curse is broken.
Sure, yeah.
Then you may wait here or within the temple. I will craft these for you. But then I must be on my way. My help is unfortunately limited in this situation. With that, Malakari lifts herself from where she was sitting and heads into the temple.
Are you okay, Avi?
No. It's the
Sounds like we
simple
came.
answer.
I get that. It sounds like we came to the right place, though.
Yeah.
I think she'll get it figured out. We know what we have to do, and hopefully what she can give us will keep it under control until then.
I don't think my eyes have left the water at all.
Avi, let me tell you something. You are tough as nails and scary as hell. All right?
That's the last thing that I want to hear right now, Bracken, but thank you.
Look, grand scheme of things, it's positive. It can be. You got this on your own, but also we got your back. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it, all right?
You promise you'll stay around.
I mean, yeah. I died. I came back. I don't think it's gonna be much harder to, get rid of me than that. I'm staying around for a minute. Don't worry.
Bracken, you would see where Ron kind of tenses as you bring up the fact that you died in this moment.
I mean, look. You could all sit around taking the blame and all that, or, we could just work to make it right. And I'm good. Everything's right by me. Now let's get things right on your end. Let's work to get rid of this curse so you don't feel, the way you do. I want to see you smile more.
Yeah, alright.
Well, I think very important thing is that after we get the vials, we tell the others what's going on.
It's fair.
That, we'll have to go to Wildewitch or something like that.
You even get to a place like that.
Go ahead, give me history or arcana checks here. Bracken, you have advantage.
Good.
You are all aware of phenomena where the veils thin, known as Fey crossings, where you could roam from Vale to Mortalis and arrive in Vale to Farah with no more than a few steps. The tricky thing is that Fey crossings are never stationary. You'd have to find one.
I know generally where one would be. I'm assuming.
You would know the signs to look for one.
Gotcha. Do they stay in like a general pocket area like this?
Some
if I
can.
were to look at it on a map and be like, this whole region could have them.
The thing with Fey crossings is that there are many of them, but it's all substantial on the Vales. So there are certain regions, but those regions don't always have a Fey crossing in them because it's based on ley line energies that are shifting the positioning of the moons and the suns. So there's always kind of a possibility of a certain realm having them, but you need the signs to see if they're actually there.
Gotcha.
And then, powerful, Avi, you would know powerful practitioners of arcane magics could just open up and planar travel. Yeah, I would say Bracken would know that too with a 17. But the easiest and probably most accessible way for you guys is to just find a fake crossing in the wilds. It's about half an hour before Malakari comes back, spent in the morning as it begins to fully brighten here in this courtyard garden. You can hear the chants inside, the choirs sing. And when Malakari comes back, it's with a leather pouch. You can hear the clink of the vials within. And as she hands them to you, Avi, there is enough for a fortnight within there. Take them in the morning with your breakfast, and it will suffice for the day. However, while it will suppress the outward curses, there is the likelihood that the curse will turn inwards, such the form of nightmares or other things.
Okay. Thank you.
And she nods, and as she does so, you can hear again that Sargazen dialect as she offers a small blessing. Fair travels. This is a tragedy, but one that can be overcome. Do you stay any longer at the temple?
I've no other business here.
I do not.
I don't want to go home.
Ron would help you to your feet, Avi. And you all are able to leave. Your trip through Wintervale, unbothered. And you return to the safe house before midday. What do you do?
Would we have had a chance to drop by Convent and drop off that bone fragment?
If you would like to stop by Convent, yeah, you could do that on your way back.
Yeah, I think we had come to a decision on what to do with it. Yeah, let's go see Convent real quick.
So, as you make your way to Convent's shop, it's easy enough to get the attention of the Goblinkin, and they step away from their smithing. And this is, I believe, the first time that, Cecil, you've brought many people to Convent.
Anyone else, I think.
Yeah, I think you've only ever gone by yourself, and Convent's a little wary of the others, but sees a returning customer.
Good day, Convent.
pleasant.
Good to hear. We've come to drop off the bone fragment that you were so interested in.
Her eyes light up. And the plan?
Well, with such a bone fragment, we were hoping for a long weapon, maybe something along the lines of this warhammer, and I'll just kind of show mine for comparison, and then perhaps a dagger as well.
As Convin looks over, possible. Convin will try best.
Do you think that would use all of the bone fragment, or would there be any left over?
Very little left over. Shards unfit for working.
I think that should still be okay. Anything, Avi? Or Bracken to add or consider?
No, I'm good at the moment.
Whatever Convin thinks, that's fine.
Very well. Then we'll leave this here with you, Convin. Is that okay? I'll slap it up on the table.
Very, like, you can see a lot of the goblin features through their own outward presentation, but this is probably one of the more goblin expected behaviors, is that as you place this on the table, almost immediately their hands are upon it in a way that seems very protective.
Cecil's eyes narrow.
And Convin will make great weapons. And then eyes up off of the bone shard to Ewall, but specifically to you, Cecil. And Deadline.
Well, we've got a couple of trips lined up. It might be nice to be able to pick this up in between them. Hopefully we'll be back to the city within a fortnight. But time might get a little wonky where we're going. Is there a fee to get prioritization?
50 gold.
Well, I think we can do that.
So you hand over 50 gold to Convin?
I will hand 50 gold.
As she takes the pouch, weighs it, Convin will work straight away. In perhaps a week and a half for both weapons to be of top quality.
That should be great. Would you send word to our house on the estate we stand on, or live on, so that once it's done, we'll come back and pick up?
As you offer this, you can see where Convin stops and thinks. For returning customer of great value, Convin can make a delivery.
That should be fine. I think anyone at our place should be able to receive it, as we may not be there. And I'll describe everyone else that stays at our safe house so that Convin knows who would be able to receive it.
And she nods. And would the lady like bone shards for jewelry? As her attention turns over to Avi.
Oh, sure, why not?
And pulls out a notebook and starts writing down ideas, notes, and jotting down different numerics, all in it's all in a runic language, likely Goblin, though it could potentially be Dwarvish.
Can I peek over and see if I can read the notes?
Yeah. Do you try and do this inconspicuously?
Not really.
Okay. Then just roll for me a perception check.
A 5. Can't read upside down.
Yeah, Convin's handwriting, very sloppy, and it's upside down. So.
I just kind of shrug.
You tried. Didn't get anywhere. Do you do anything else?
No, I think we're good.
And does anyone else do anything here?
No. I'm
I
good.
think our business is handled here.
Okay. Then you head back to the safe house.
As we're coming in the door, I'll turn to Ron. I think we need to talk.
Yes, of course. And the two of you can go off to where it is a little bit more private for the two of you.
Mm. I almost left this morning.
Because of last night?
As of last night. I was worried that even with the trip to the temple, that nothing would be able to be done. And the only solution was for me to be by myself.
She doesn't immediately respond. Very much listening to what you say. And as she gathers her thoughts, it is understandable. I will not hold the choices that you did not make against you. But I would like to know, if only to prepare myself, if you still feel like running or plan to.
I don't plan on it. I don't want to leave. I thought it was my only choice. Because I couldn't bear it if it hurt anyone else. If it hurt you like that.
I'd argue that the many people in this proximity, my past deeds would be more fitting for such a occurrence. But I do not wish you harm in any way. And I know what pain that would bring. And she moves and slowly takes a hold of both of your hands in hers. Just because you do not always see the choices that you have does not mean that there aren't any. You may always see a path to run. But it is where our friends come in. They see things that are sometimes blinded to our own eyes.
Yeah. Are you always right?
I believe there is a adage of with age comes wisdom.
Oh, alright.
And she brings her hand up to cup the side of your face. You are stronger than you think you are, Avisala. But even the strongest of branches, they bow. If you sway with the wind, however, you will not break.
Thank you. I didn't sleep last night. Would you lay with me a while?
Yes. And the two of you can head to lay down for a midday nap as plans and updates are spread through the house of what you've learned and what you need to do. In this moment, Bracken, Cecil, do you seek out any interactions, any conversations?
I'd ask Lorcan if he knows of any nearby Fey crossings.
He looks up as he thinks. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I could make a trip out, see if there's some people that I know of it, if they've seen anything.
How long would that take?
Well, it depends. Probably no more than a day.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. At least we could have some place to start.
Alright. Well then, I'll pack a small bag and I'll head out as soon as possible.
Thanks, Lorcan.
Of course. Before I do that, can I ask about why you need a Fey crossing?
Yeah, we went to the temple. We found a curse breaker, and right now the best we can do is suppress the curse with some treatments. But to break it, we're gonna have to hunt down that hag and the Fey in Vale of Farah.
It sounds pretty nasty.
It's probably gonna get pretty nasty.
You gonna want a bit of help on the other side, or?
Yeah, we'll probably need some help finding the Fey crossing, and once we get there as well.
Yeah. You know me. Always up
Have
for
you
the next
been?
adventure. No, I've never been to Vale of Farah.
Well, I think your skills might be very useful there.
I'll head out and see what I can find for you.
Great, thanks, Lorcan.
So,
Here, take a lunch with you. And Bracken's been working with Terry on making lunch for everyone. He packed this one.
is it in a brown paper sack?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'll take this. Did you put a note in it? Because I don't eat packed lunches without a note.
Only the finest for you, Lorcan. And let me just go ahead and make a check here. When he opens it up, that sandwich is awful. Just dreadful.
It's just lettuce.
It's a BLT that has way too much tomato and not enough bacon, but no condiments, so that the bread has gotten soggy.
Oh no.
Bracken, can you roll for me a perception check?
He tried. He worked really hard on that. Perception check?
Yeah. You can hear the sort of whisper to Cecil from Lorcan. I think I'm gonna pass this off to some urchin on my way out of town.
What was that?
You know, I am so hungry I'm hurting. I'll
Yeah?
eat this on my way out of town.
I worked really hard on that, so I hope you enjoy it.
I will enjoy it so much.
Thanks, Lorcan. And I'm gonna go back proud of myself.
And Cecil, you just see Larkin shaking his head.
Good luck, buddy.
So, he goes and grabs his things, mainly his bow, some arrows. He does have a small blade upon him in case he gets caught in melee. And he heads out. Is there anything that you pursue the rest of this day? Any sort of investigations or conversations or anything else?
I'm asking if anyone has been to the Feywild. I'm updating anyone that didn't come to the temple with us and asking if they've been to the Feywild, as we're kind of switching our preparations from going to the Vale de Umbra to now going to Vale de Farah.
Never been, not once.
Wait a second. Where'd your wings go? Just kidding. Anything you know about? What should we know, Bracken?
I mean, you know, we already touched on it at one point, but definitely, you know, keep up to speed with your fairy customs. Don't take any gifts. Don't ever say thank you. Don't ever, you know, if you don't indebt yourself to somebody, because then you're in a lot of trouble.
Taking vigorous notes.
I mean, in Cecil's defense, he wasn't really there the last time we went over all these rules.
Gotcha. Well, then, you know, make sure you do, and Bracken's gonna go. Do you actually know the rules of interacting with Fae, or do you need a refresher on that?
I know absolutely nothing.
You got it. Let me pull it up, because I need a refresher too. But it is rules of the Fae Wilds.
Remember, you gotta count the knuckles to make sure you recognize a fair folk.
Yes, that too. Here we go. Okay. So, we're just going to run down a list real quick, make sure everybody's on the same page.
I feel like while this is happening, you've got like a whole like house meeting being called. So like as
everybody
Bracken
come around, and I'm reaching in. I'm getting a little notebook out that's rules and customs of the Feywild for common folk.
Feel like half asleep from
And I'm
my nap.
dusting it off. So make sure you write everything down. That'll let you, you know where you are, what's been said, where you've been, who you know, all that stuff. Make sure you're writing things down, unless you have a mind like a steel trap. Then it's fine. Don't tell anyone your name. Never. Don't do that. Just from the jump, never let somebody know. Don't kill anything that doesn't try to kill you. Don't make a deal unless conditions are incredibly specific. Let everybody know. Make sure everybody's on the same page with anything you agree to. Don't touch or eat things unless you know what they are. And even if they're offered to you by someone, don't eat them. If you can find it randomly, sure, why not? If it's yours, eat it. Unless you don't know what it is, then don't eat it. And then also, always be polite, but never say thank you. Because that means you're indebted, and that gets you in a whole lot of trouble.
This sounds like an awful place.
It sucks. That's why I left.
Terraminder holds up her hand.
Yo.
So, a little bit that I recall, the whole don't kill people that aren't trying to kill you. Does that go for I remember you said that you punched a guy?
I didn't try to kill him, I just rattled his cage.
Yeah, but like attacking even if like there's no intent to kill, like is that the same, like the rules apply the same? I'm just really very curious.
So this gets into a bit of a complexity situation where everything's stacked up. He personally slighted me, which is an emotional attack, and then I responded with a physical attack. So technically he attacked me first.
And you see that Terry actually has a notebook that she writes down.
Yeah, Bracken fully believes what he just said is true, so...
Terry is taking that at face value.
I mean, and that's kind of what the story is. But it's more anything, not just thing like that expands over to creatures, things like that. Make sure that it's rules of engagement are don't attack unless you are attacked, which sucks. But at the same time, you don't know if you're killing someone's pets or if it's actually something in disguise or whatever it is. It could be literally any number of things. It's aggravating how whimsical and fanciful the place we are going is.
And while you were doing that, Carissa speaks up. I believe that it was somewhat touched upon at Convin's shop. That time it functions differently there. I've not personally been, but I have read a book or two upon the subject of how time is, at least the perception of it, stationary until you travel to the different realms across Wildewitch. So you
can. Again, it's depending on the pocket or where you are and what you're doing and for how long. Time does get wonky. It's just no way to tell how wonky it gets. It could be just a little bit. It could be none. It could be a lot in one way or the other. Time could go up or down, back and forth, left or right. It's really a free-form concept here. We're really just going with the flow.
Right. I was more talking about the domains, where you have the domain of dawn, day, twilight, midnight, or night, I believe. It's been quite a time since I've read that tome, where again, as time progresses, it only is ever perceived as that portion of the positioning of the sun in that domain.
Yeah, that happens too. That's another thing. You guys should write that down. Good point. And Brackett is just going at this with face value because he has never been to any of those courts.
Well, no. So the way that Wildewitch functions, and this is some of the stuff that you would know as coming from Wildewitch, is that it is broken up into different domains where the sun positions itself.
Gotcha.
So I believe Prince Dralafor is within the domain of night.
Okay.
Does that sound right to you, Lachlan? Dralafor, domain of night.
He would be from the region where Bracken comes from.
Okay. We'll work on that later. But we'll figure out which domain you come from. Yeah, you have domains of night, twilight, day, and dawn. And then within those domains, you have so domains would be like longitude, and then latitudes would be the different seasons.
Gotcha.
Wildewitch is weird. We love it. And so, as you are having these conversations of the what to expect in Wildewitch, any further questions, conversations?
Yeah, now Bracken, I recall that we had some fairies that were after you quite some time ago. Is that something we need to be on the lookout for?
Normally, I would say yes, but I died recently, and now I'm a Kender, and now they're looking for a fairy. I'm a Kender now. There's no way that that's gonna come back and bite us in any way. They're looking for someone completely different.
So, but you look the same. You just lost your wings.
I mean,
And,
I'm
well,
a little bit
you know.
different.
Eh,
I don't think he looks the same.
well.
Look, if that becomes an issue, I'm sure we can cross that bridge when we get there. But from my point of view, we're not going to have any issues whatsoever. In and out, nice and smooth, like butter.
Zero chance.
Zero chance. You can quote me on that.
What if they
Relentless.
recognize us?
What?
Relentless was going. It kind of rolls her eyes, which are clouded over because again she's still like puppeting a corpse. And your friend makes a compelling argument. You may have changed your form, but none of your companions have.
Yeah, but they're not looking for them.
But they have seen us.
I mean,
mean,
maybe
we
once or
had it.
twice.
We kind of fought them. You don't remember that?
Well, I'm sure it's something along the lines of, oh, we found the fairy we were looking for and we attacked him, but him and some friends beat us up and they got away. Like, I'm sure that's what their report was. Fairies aren't very, for all the rules that I just rattled off, they're not very logistical folk. They're very whimsical and, lay on a fainting couch out in, the gardens eating grapes all day. They're not, the most litigious folk.
Ron speaks up. I would caution against such gratuitous stereotyping. I'm sure that there are fairies that are militaristic leaders, guards to the courts and to different domains.
I mean, sure, you got some, but, in the grand scheme of things.
I would caution a bit of awareness of our situation. Bracken is wanted, and perhaps they do not know of his changed shape. But they have interacted with us before.
Well, that's another thing. Avi brought up, we've beat these guys before. We can probably do it again.
Okay.
We beat like a half dozen. We're walking into their house.
Terraminder, didn't that one get away?
He did, yeah. I was gonna say that.
Well, they're also not, not every fairy's upset at us. Just, this one group, I guess. And I was going to say if he's still holding a grudge, that's on him. But, he does seem to kind of hold a grudge, so.
He's trying to beat him up, like, real bad.
Oh, I got him good. Don't. Yeah, no, it wasn't kind of beat him up. It was, ooh, boy.
Within an inch of his life, if I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
it was.
Yeah.
He was spitting teeth and ugly crying. It was not pretty.
And you don't think he'd be at all upset about that on his return?
What? Come on. No, he's probably going to be upset.
You think he told all of his little friends?
Yeah, all of his little friends. All of
I
his
mean,
little
I don't want to listen. I've had a stressful day.
Look, I know, I get it, and I'm trying to make some light of the situation. It is going to be dangerous. I'm sure we can handle it. These guys are chumps. They've got some, they do have some militaristic fairies in there, and they're going to be dangerous. But the guys that are directly after us, are in charge of those guys, but also all their friends are like the one I beat up. They're kind of wussy chumps.
My goodness.
I'm sure, there's a matter of yes and no of we. It's gonna look. We'll take it as we get it. If they show up, we'll take care of them.
Okay.
Good enough for me.
And if the big man wants a second helping, so help me.
One way to find out, right?
Yeah.
You're a bit taller than him now. Might be even easier.
Not by much. I grew maybe.
I did say a bit.
Fair enough. I went from 3'6" to 3'9", something like that.
But would the wings not give him a height advantage if he took to flight?
You know what? There she is. She's right again.
Just grab onto his feet, pull him down.
Mm.
He doesn't get a lot of exercise. I can't wait to show up and this dude is just jacked. He's just been training the entire time, just high intensity,
I'm
CrossFit. This dude, he's just walking around shirtless all the time, 12-pack, just chiseled.
I'm gonna get that little shit.
The double plot twist is it's just an illusion.
Oh my god, that's even better.
Is there anything else that happens in the Vildefera house meeting?
Any other questions before we call this a break and a good meeting?
Is it a good idea to come up with fun fake names since we're not allowed to give our real names?
Good question. Absolutely.
Okay.
Would anyone like to go first with their made-up fun name?
Oh my goodness, I really have to think about this.
Carissa, well, are we all going to Vildefera?
Anyone who's going would want to come up with a fake name, but having fake names in general is actually a kind of a good idea, just in case.
You're so right. Well, let's sleep on that one.
All right,
We'll
fair
figure it
enough.
all out.
Everybody at breakfast tomorrow. Me and Terry are going to make a nice breakfast, and we'll come in and we'll all tell each other our fake names, and we'll all, thumbs up. Good job, everybody.
Seems agreeable. Should it be whimsical, like the place that we're going?
You can if you want. You guys aren't from the place, so you might as well, you can do whatever you want with it.
Oh no.
To Chris's
Maybe,
point,
I'm-
are we all going to go?
Who
Or
is
should-
coming? We
Show
gotta
of
figure that
hands,
out.
who's coming to Fairy World with all of us?
Well, for the fact it's going to be the core three of Bracken, Avi, and Cecil.
I was actually going to stay home.
For a fact it's going to be the core three. Lorcan did set out earlier this day to try and find any news on a Fae crossing in the area. And Cecil, you had talked to him about potentially him coming through to the other side. And you do have all the others here, but I will remind you that your message rings, you only have two spare ones.
It might be okay to leave some people back to prepare for the Umbra trip.
Yeah.
Well, if Lorcan is going to help us with his ranger skills, that leaves one more spot.
Do we want to bring Terry then? With, like, cleric stuff?
Terminder's not a cleric.
No?
Nope.
Oh, shit. Well, whoops.
Ansel is a cleric.
Ansel's. Shit. What Terry was? Shit. What's Terry?
She is based on Artificer.
Got it. Okay. I knew it was one of the Smarty Pants classes.
Yeah, so you have Ron, Lorcan, Ansel, Terminder, Carissa, and Relethalos. That you could have join you. Lorcan was already told that we might need your help. And everyone else is fine either way. Of course, everyone cares for making sure that Avi has her curse removed. Some more intensely than others, but these are important things and preparations need to be taken care of as well.
Well, we could bring 2. We just only have 2 other rings.
Mm-hmm.
So we could bring more people than what we have rings for.
Correct, but if you bring too many people, then who's going to receive the dragon bones weapons?
Yeah, you guys really painted yourself into a corner on that
What do you mean?
one.
We all know Ansel's gonna be sitting there alone, just twiddling his thumb. Just kidding.
No, it's fine. I can always head to the temple or to Momzig and his laboratory or to help with Zephyriel.
See, Ansel has things.
As much as
Popular guy.
Valdefera is an intriguing and interesting place, I do not think that I would be the best for traversing such areas.
Do you want to bring Ron then?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have you there, Ron. If you want to come.
I do not want to be away from you. But I understand that some things are distractions.
Mm.
But I wish to see you well. And if you will allow me to help you with that, I will be at your side.
Yeah.
Terry can still come.
I mean, I can. If it's just because of the cooking skills, Lorcan's pretty alright at that. You don't have to rely on Bracken's.
What?
Got him.
Damn, I've been trying really hard.
You have been, and you've been improving so much. I'm very proud of you.
I had one of those sandwiches and it was fine.
Oh, don't. I knew what Lorca was up to. That sandwich was trash. I know it. I just wanted to be proud of it.
Lorcan, he's very used to simple foods. Like you see him, he eats rations more than anything. You know.
That sandwich was wet when I put it in the bag. I'm not proud of it. It's okay.
Okay, I think that maybe we put this on hold. We can figure out who's coming later. We need to adjourn this meeting before
Fair
anyone
enough.
starts crying.
Who's gonna cry?
Terminder just wipes her eyes.
Okay.
No one.
Terry, yeah, give her a big hug.
She hugs back, like hiding her face in your shoulder. So, the meeting is adjourned, and afternoon passes to evening, passes to night. If there's anything you wish to do during that time, usually enough done. Otherwise, oh, go ahead.
Cecil would spend a decent portion of the evening drafting a letter and throwing multiple copies away and just trying to get it right. And then would stash it with the others.
One day, there's gonna be a rogue in the house, and it's just gonna find all those letters. But, evening goes by, night comes, and sleep comes to those, whether it is troubled or peaceful. But there is nothing that happens outside that disturbs your rest. Not until dawn, when the door opens quite harshly as a sweat-dripping Lorcan enters in.
I'll come down to the sound of commotion in the entrance of our home.
You see the familiar half-orc scout coming in.
You good, bud?
A little worn out. Allow me to get something to drink.
What's got you running so hard?
Deadlines.
Okay.
And as he goes into the kitchen, you can hear as he grabs the large ewer, pours himself water. He turns, I'm assuming that Bracken, you came down all the way, or did you stay on?
I'd join him for a cup of water. It's early in the morning, and I'm a little parched.
So, as he leans against the counter, downing the water, I asked around some folks, and it seems we may have a fake Rosin that we could find quite easily.
Oh, good.
So, I've got an idea of where it's at. When everyone else is up and ready to go, what could lead you there?
Yeah. Is it like a time of the essence thing? You did come running back in pretty, hot and heavy.
There was more the fact that, where I was at, if I didn't rush back, would have been later. I haven't slept since headed out. That's what you gotta work with when you've got nomadic trubs.
Sure enough.
And he pours himself another glass, motions to you if you would like a refill.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, he tops you off.
Hell yeah.
Do the rest of you come down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make my way down.
Okay. You all see Lorcan and Bracken in the kitchen, sharing some water.
Is everything alright?
Yeah, I found a fake Rosin for us. Pretty sure, at least.
Already.
That's excellent news.
It helps when you got people that are out in the forests day in, day out. Can tell what strange things are happening. They don't know anything for sure. They're just talking about strange whispers. recently. The last 2 days, there's been some crying that they've heard. They're about to head on out. Season's changing, and well, I think this has also kind of spooked them.
You said they heard crying?
That's what the people that I've talked to mentioned. So, something to keep aware of when we're out there.
That is certainly curious.
Well, something to investigate in the morning, I guess.
It is morning, Bracken.
It is very early morning, yeah, but, you know.
I figure that with the gravity of the situation, as he kind of gives a nod over to Avi, you'd be wanting to head out sooner rather than later.
Fair enough. Got me there. Touche, as the high society friends say.
Ron, who nods with a yawn, I'm pretty sure that our high society friends have pronounced it as touche.
You know, potato, right?
Not quite.
So I'm the guy that doesn't pronounce things. All right.
Terraminder, kind of coming down. It's okay, it just means that you've read more than you've talked to people. I've got the same issue.
Well, why don't we get breakfast going and then...
Yeah,
We
you're
got
right.
from there.
I'll start cooking. Bracken will just get up and start working in the kitchen.
Terry's in there quickly to help.
Can I catch a look at Lorcan's face after he runs in all tired and hears this?
Roll an insight check here real quick.
He eat the sandwich.
I got a natural one.
Oh, no.
There's no shift on Lorcan's face.
Brave little guy.
So, as you all, as breakfast is made and as you all gather around, alright, I think we sit down and think about who will we bring with us. If there's trouble out in the woods, probably not best to have a large group. Perhaps maybe couple for 6, 7 of us. So I think really the only person that needs to go here is Orvi.
I think we were thinking 5 all in.
Yeah, it's
Well, the more people that are here to get ready for us to go to Vale de Umbra, I think that's the best.
definitely being pulled in multiple directions here, so
You ain't kidding.
Well, the good news and the easy news is I think anyone that doesn't come on this trip will go on the Vale de Umbra trip. So that way we keep nice rotation. No one's overworked or overstressed, you know. It'll be a good way to run it.
Get a fresh squad in.
Oh,
Carissa
You gotta
kind of
cycle your party members so they level up even.
Carissa kind of looks. Well, why don't we worry about that as Gloom Noir approaches? Right now, it's still in its early stages. It may be that more of us are going than we anticipate.
Mm.
But, so it seems that, Lorcan, you are quite invested in heading to Wildewitch? And, I mean, I think it'd be, I've got the way in. I'd rather not just ferry you all. I'd like to see you all taken care of.
Carissa, do you want to come?
I mean, let's see if you all would like me there. I would not say no to such an opportunity. But I also realize that I am beneficial here in preparations for Gloom Noir and with other things, such as politics.
Sure. You know, everybody that we've asked except for Lorcan has been like, yeah, but not really making it easy on us.
Well, I think that's because we're all quite aware of the situation we find ourselves in. No, both are important tasks and both are skills that we wield.
Well, I kind of strong-armed Lorcan into it. So we can bump it up to 6, and Avi, you pick one, and Bracken, you pick one.
I will say that anyone who's got a passive perception of 13 or higher would notice Cecil says strong arming Lorcan, that Lorcan just kind of flexes his arm muscles.
Wow.
I didn't see it. That's excellent.
So, Avi, Bracken, do you put any votes for people coming with you?
I mean, I know where my vote would go, but if somebody is demanding to go, I will put my vote.
So-
Yeah, is there anyone who just does not hard no, I don't want to go to Wildewitch?
I would prefer not to go to Wildewitch.
Okay, that's
And that
fine.
You're coming.
That
Anyone
comes
else?
from that comes from Relethalos.
Understood.
That's the way you do it, so that way you get out of there as quickly as possible.
That would be such a power move that ask who doesn't want to come, and then that's who you put in. It's like, all right, you're coming with us.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
No, Wildewitch does not have to come. In the state of her.
All right, is there anyone that explicitly wants to come?
Is Lorcan raising his hand?
Oh, of course.
Except for you, Lorcan.
Yeah, you're already on the books.
Coming.
Ron looks to you, Avi. I have already told you. I do not wish to be away from you. But I understand if the choice is different.
No. You're always my first pick.
And she smiles at that. And then I guess Ron's gonna be joining us.
All right then, Bracken.
I'll turn next to Terry and say, "Do you want to go to Fairy World with us? I would love to have you, but you don't have to."
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
So with an 18, there is a resolve and a bit of sadness that's on Terry's face, as well as a nervousness. I'm real worried about you, Bracken. But Avi has been helping me to kind of talk for what I want, and as much as I want to help you guys, I also want to put in effort to find out if anything's going wrong with my family.
Yeah.
And I can't do that in Valdefera.
Fair enough. Tell you what, I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna make it back here, so you don't gotta worry about none of that. You get in contact with you and yours. Make sure everything's all good on that side. When I get back, if there's any help you need, no questions asked. And then when we put a nice bow on that, the two of us will go to Vale de Umbra together, and that you're on the team there, yeah?
She'll nod at that.
Sounds good. All right. And then who was the one person that said they would be excited to come?
I don't think anyone said that they would be excited, but you do have Ansel or Carissa.
Who was? Yeah,
It was Carissa.
who
She
was the
wanted the
one person
opportunity.
that didn't want to come?
Relethalos.
Yeah,
Lethalos. I am. Ooh, I want to cast that
No.
vote so bad.
She's literally walking around in a corpse, dude. Really?
Fairies hate that.
Mm.
We'll cast a vote for Ansel in this case.
All right, so it'll be Lorcan, Ron, and Ansel that you head out with. Do you make any preparations in this morning before you head out?
Cecil is going to go on foot and leave the panther behind, just in fear that if we get separated, I won't be able to easily get back to the panther.
All right, you leave the panther behind. Do you give care instructions to anyone to take care of Shadow?
Just put him in the stable.
Whatever you do, don't put your hand in his mouth.
What animal would you put your hand in their mouth?
I don't know. I do that to Sandwich sometimes just to piss him off.
Who the hell's Sandwich?
Oh,
Wow.
Sorry, I thought that was an out of character question.
I'm now just imagining that there's an alley cat that Bracken has started to call Sandwich.
Hell yeah. Exact same cat.
He gave you his sandwich, didn't he? Now your name is Sandwich.
You know what? That's the lore.
You just see an orange cat with a soggy sandwich running off.
Walled eyes.
That cat loves tomatoes.
He actually does like lasagna, so it checks out.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Story's just writing itself.
I'm dying over here, guys. All right. So, with any preparations you take care of, you are able to head out and follow Lorcan as he leads you out of Wintervale and into the forest areas outside of the city. He takes you through the out through the northern ward, and I believe it was Bracken who followed Lorcan out that one night. It's the same path that he took as he heads out. And this time, you guys, as you exit out into the, you follow the Great Trade Road for maybe a mile outside of the city before he takes you off a smaller path that leads into the forest areas. And here, I will ask for checks that you think are appropriate to maneuver through the forest.
Bracken is stumbling over tree roots and rocks and uneven terrain as he is used to fluttering through the forest. So I will roll this with this.
Oh, come on.
It's going to take a couple days to get this right.
Oh goodness. Yeah, why not? It's not bad. It's not bad.
Luckily, with Lorcan's assistance, you don't get lost. But that doesn't mean that your journey is all too pleasant. There is a moment where Bracken's stumbling over a root hits into Cecil, and Cecil, you fall flat on your face. Pick yourself up, and as you try to do so, the vine that you use to help pull yourself up snaps, and you fall again. And then you just push yourself off the ground.
Listen, y'all can stop trying to make me feel better at any time.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Lorcan just gives a raised eyebrow look to Cecil.
I look away in shame.
And he nods. He doesn't say anything.
What a good friend.
Ansel kind of keeps to himself, but you do hear where he struggles trying to pull his robes where they get caught on some of the bushes. And as you all are moving through deeper into the woods, go ahead, give me perception checks.
Oh, damn.
Bracken, you hear it. The cries.
I guess that's what they were talking about. You guys all pick up on that?
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm, I didn't hear a thing.
No, like, come on, listen just a little bit, like, over that way. Listen up. And I'll try to point it out so that they can hear it better.
As you point out the direction, Avi and Cecil, what you hear sounds like it's some strange bird song. Doesn't sound like crying to you.
It's a bird Bracken.
Really?
That's what it sounds like.
I'll turn to the rest of the team. Anyone else? Is it just a bird?
Let's find out. It is Ron that's attention is kind of grabbed, and Lorcan as well. I do not think it is just a bird. Perhaps something to investigate.
Sure. Maybe something came through.
I mean, this is the forest where the fake frozen is.
Well, then we go that way.
As you move that way, Bracken, you see them first. Perhaps it's because you are subconsciously missing the wings that you have known all your life, that your eyes pick them out in the sunlight. But there's a gleam as it hits these small wings, smaller than yours, of a small fairy, tiny, maybe about a foot tall.
And I will alert the group. I'll kind of stop and get low and point it out. Yeah, Dad, look in the light. See it?
As Bracken points it out, you do all see the small fairy. And you can hear now that strange bird song as you see her shoulders heave, and perhaps it is the sound of her cries.
Oh, well, it's crying. We gotta help it.
Well, I don't think we're going to be doing much helping if we just crouch down over here.
I'm not scratching. I started walking.
I'm hanging back a bit. Can I place like who this court or which court this fairy's from?
Go ahead, give me a perception or investigation check. You're not seeing any sort of identifier upon this fairy.
All right. I'll hang toward the back of the group in this case.
Okay, if you hang towards the back of the group, Avi, as you get closer, you're about maybe 5 feet away, in conversational distance, when another fairy comes like a whirlwind up in your face, and he looks very defensive, very protective. Who are you?
I'm Susan.
What are you doing here?
Just walking along. And I heard her crying. So I was coming to help. I got my hands up and everything.
Badger, they didn't hurt me. You don't have to be so mean. You can see where he looks over his shoulder to the fairy that is now turned as she's wiping her eyes. Turns back to you all. Levels a harsh glare as he flutters back and stands next to her where she sits.
Why are you crying?
I lost my glowworms.
You didn't.
I've been trying to find them, but there's a dense fog further in the forest, and when we were flying over, it dropped in there, and we can't get it back.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Let's see if she's lying. That never works out for me. It's a 16.
She does not appear to be telling you any lies.
Well, which way is this fog? And we can see if we can't get you back your glowworms.
She seems to perk up at that. Her wings that have been kind of limp also sort of stand up. Really? You do that? Is there anything we'd be able to do for you?
Well, now that you mention it, we are looking for a way into Valdefera.
You see the male fairy, Badger, you had heard him called, sort of tense up, looks to his companion. And why are you trying to head into Valdefera?
It's a long story.
You see that he gives you a hard look over. Alright, if you can find Coriander's glowworms, we can tell you where the Fey Crossing is.
Well, that's just wonderful. Did anybody come with me?
Lorcan's behind you.
Lorcan's behind. I think we should tell the others that this is what we're doing.
All for it. Easy enough to try and find glowworms, I guess.
Y'all wait here. We have some friends that are gonna come and help. And I'll start walking back.
Alright. Yeah, you walk the short distance back.
As they start walking back, I will start walking to meet.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Ron and Ansel do as well. You all meet in the middle.
Everything's fine. They lost their glowworms, so we're gonna help them find them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna help us find the crossing.
Okay.
But we gotta find the glowworms first.
Okay.
Now, Ori didn't mention this, but apparently they lost the glowworms in a dense fog.
Well, I mean, I can
Right.
do the fog, but
I mean, if it's just normal fog, what if it's got, like, weird things on the inside of it? And he, like, wiggles his fingers.
Yeah, like glowworms.
Glowworms ain't that weird.
They're worms that glow. That's kind of weird.
yeah. Well, Lorcan does kind of have a point. So remember when y'all were off fighting an owl bear? Like that really happened. We were in some fog, and there
Yeah.
were weird things in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like what kind of weird?
Like ghost weird. I was possessed.
How are those dishes coming, by the way, Lorcan?
You know, I've been real busy recently.
I've been doing all the dishes. All right.
I mean, I've been keeping track on my days. I tally them up. I keep.
Yep.
Yeah, just quit while you're behind. You're digging yourself a hole here.
Lorcan, you're off the hook. It's fine.
He just kind of, you can see the his face turn like a deeper green throughout this entire conversation. And so, you do have as you are talking, you hear the fluttering of wings as the female fairy comes over. Coriander, you heard her name. If you're heading to the fog, we tried to go into it, and well, we couldn't see anything, and we couldn't get further. I just want to let you know what we heard.
Well, what did you hear?
Howls. wolves and rushing water. It seemed very fast.
All right.
And she nods. And the glowworms will be glowing when you find them. They may be a soft yellow or another color, but normally, if you're not holding them, they're just a soft yellow color.
Got it. We're gonna get your worms. Don't worry about it.
And she nods. Thank you. And with that, flutters back over next to Badger, who has still been warily eyeing your group. As she gets back over to him, you see where he kind of puts an arm around her protectively. But you have an idea of where the fog is and what it could contain. Now it's just to get over there. As you are moving, I would say survival or investigation checks. Ansel is the one to speak up as you depart. I will say that I am concerned at the prospect of wolves. Not afraid, but, well, could make things a bit more of a hassle than if we tried to find this fake crossing on our own. Yes?
Well, first of all, they're just wolves, right? Second of all, that little fairy was crying. These worms are important to her.
Alright, but I'm just gonna put this out here. What if they're wolves that are possessed? That would be so messed up.
You're right, that would be messed up, but what are the chances that these are possessed wolves?
Lorcan just looks over to Bracken.
Don't look at me.
You're the percentages, man.
I'm not. Hey, whoa. The real secret here is there's 6 of us, and we're all heavily armed. I think we can handle some wolves.
Yeah, no, we could always handle wolves. But, one being, like, you're the one that, was all about the numbers don't add up for Draculich.
Yeah, because they don't.
And yet we saw one.
We saw the illusion of one.
And how do you explain the bone that we just dropped off at Convents?
You told me after it swooped down that
Oh, you know what? No,
believed in
you guys are right. My bad. Sorry, things are a little wonky still. My apologies. You're right. My bad.
It's also fair to mention that we weren't supposed to make deals with fairies, and someone looking at Avi made an immediate deal with a fairy the first time she saw one.
It's just a little fairy, though.
Well, it was... Sorry, I've chosen a different path of words.
And first of all, we're not in Vale Fairy yet.
Does it matter? I didn't see anything written about where you make a deal.
In general, it's bad practice to make a deal with Fae folk. This one seems pretty on the board. Just, careful.
Well, we've made a promise. I don't think we want to go back on it now.
That's fair, especially since this seems like a very easy quid pro quo.
It also seems that's what got us here in the first place.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Bracken?
It's a quid pro quo. You know, when you do something for someone and they do something for you, it's a quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
That's what I said. Quid pro quo.
You're saying it all jumbled together and fast, though. Why?
You know, I'm not here to be judged. I'm here to fight wolves right now. All right.
Sorry, I was looking for the labyrinth fairy. It bit me, and I couldn't find it. But yes, no. As you guys are heading through, having this conversation, you begin to notice the area around you grow foggy. The light grows dimmer, and the forest around you begins to quiet. And as it begins to grow, you still hear the forest around you, but it is not as intense until a sharp howl breaks through, followed by another and another. Wolves are definitely here. And you've found the dense fog, which you cannot peer through from where you stand. And with the promise of knowledge on the return of a collection of glowworms, you head into the fog. And our session will pause here. So, thank you to our players for playing. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you to our viewers for viewing. I hope you all enjoyed this story. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Until then, please head over to wildewitch.com. That is our website. That's going to be wildewitch.com. It's where you can find out all the cool things we've got going on here at Wildewitch RP, all the ways you can find us on the internet, and of course the invite link to our Discord where you can join in and chat, hang out, play some games with us yourself. While you're on the internet, head over to Sirenscape.com and check them out, as Sirenscape provides all of our background music, our ambiance, our sad trombone, to be played at dramatically appropriate times. Heading over there, you can see what Sirenscape can do for your table. And with that, see you guys next week. And as always, may the ever-burning light forever guide your steps. Laters.